What is going on? I'm zmot, rested and suntanned and so not happy to be back to work. But on the happy side, if you go to the news tab, scroll into the rub-a-dub-blub, we scroll down, HQ25 has been announced. It is official. HQ25 is coming. And then I came into my submarine and look at this. Booyakasha. We've got the building blueprint. That is fantastic. I am so excited. That is perfect timing on Boom Beach's part. The Boom Beach gods are smiling down at me. One quick note, this resource boat right here, I hope you have not touched it. If you have, shame on you, because it has unlimited resources. Once that update pops, I'm going to touch that resource boat. I'm going to use my building blueprint on the headquarters. Then we're going to jump into probably the armory, I'm guessing. Unless there's another level of sculptor, then that might jump ahead. Regardless, let me know what you're thinking about that. In other news, I believe that we managed to yell loud enough to have the Supercell dev team hear us. The new Prototroops, before you used to get 10, 20, 30, look at these tokens. We're getting the proper amounts of tokens suddenly. So Boom Beach dev team, I believe, has made a change. I'm not going to say that 100% until tomorrow when Dr. T arrives, but you want to do all of these stages now. Before, you couldn't do anything with your Prototroops. You couldn't actually max them because the Prototroop token numbers were completely wrong. If that's fixed, you can now max your Prototroops in 6 days. So jump into these events, get those Proto tokens going, because, spoiler alert, if you boost the Rifleman speed over here, and the shock bomb cost reduction, stick around, we'll do some of those. I'm going to just diamond finish a bunch of stuff here. Let's make a prototype. This is usually pretty darn good. We're going to finish one of those. We're going to deploy it, just put it in a random spot for now. Let's just get 3 of those. What the heck? That should get us through all 7 stages as quickly as possible. Gonna do it before usually I get to stage 6 and waste a whole bunch of gold and get frustrated and then diamond some stuff. We're just going to do it from the start because I want to rip through all of this stuff as fast as we possibly can. Definitely need to move some flotsams into some better spots because they were just in ridiculous spots there. So we're going to place this over in about here. And then hopefully that will be close enough to blow up all the things and we'll just rip through this. We are going to do some things. Now, one thing we're not going to do right now is Warships. I know a lot of you have seen a lot of Warship stuff. This account was in Diamond about 10 days ago. I parked it simply because I started to lose, as you can see here. Win, 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 lose, lose, and then I've got my other account to deal with. So that is the one using the top path that I talked about in my early season strategy. Got to Diamond very quickly. The other account where I went and got Kavan, went on the bottom road and got rockets and shock launchers and stuff, didn't do quite so well. I've managed to get it up into 20. Just finally got the number of keys to get into 20, to get into the 6 engine rooms. I've got everything for 5. I'm basically a maxed 5 engine rooms, which is all about heavy choppas. So lots and lots of stuff going on. I'm going to try and cover all of it as quickly as I can without rushing, which is going to be awkward. So let me know what you're thinking about this season. One thing I really am enjoying about this season is the fact that they keep giving us those freebies of the tokens and the keys. This is the first time they've done that. It definitely needs some tweaking. We need some more tokens. The keys are good. The tokens are just far too low. I feel like they should ramp up as the season goes on because you need more and more as it goes on. But regardless, I like that little wrinkle they've introduced. The name of March Ahead doesn't really do anything for me, but I'm pretty happy that it does have a name. Now, as far as HQ25, I kind of assume we're either going to get one more shock launcher or one more level of shock launcher. If you look at the base of those buildings, they still have that stone base. Everything else has the iron or the wood base, so shock launchers definitely do need an upgrade. Now, I'm curious to see, there's been a bunch of bugs as far as the amount of XP that's been available. If you had a building that ended, or an upgrade that ended while you were in the middle of Warships, it seems like maybe you weren't getting the XP. There were other previous XP bugs, experience bugs, whatever you want to call them. I find it odd when I say 3-letter acronyms or 2-letter acronyms when I can just say the word. We're not trying to type here. Anyways, a little bit odd there. So I'm hoping it doesn't get to the point where some people can get to XP 73 and some people can't. That would be really, really unfortunate as we watch mechs just completely and utterly waste all of our time. Man, I can't stand mechs. I jump in random task forces and I see people using mechs on operation attacks. Please don't use mechs on operation attacks. They are so useless 99% of the time. And now we're going to watch them all perish. So flying through these, getting our upgrade tokens, and if you jump into your armor, you'll see that we are getting farther than we did previously with those upgrade tokens. So typically, I don't do Hammerman's fleet, except for when I want to get the intel. This has finally changed things. So if you've been skipping the daily events, if you're one of those players that like says War Factory, I don't have time for that, it's a waste of my time, typically max level players, then maybe reconsider that, because suddenly the daily events have a little bit more use as we get absolutely pummeled by bombardiers. Bombardiers just ruining all of our faces. Really wish we had the hot pot. I'm going to try, do I have any? There's no hot pot in there. Maybe, just maybe, we can move you back a little bit. I'm going to move both of these back just a touch, trying to catch some of those bombardiers coming forwards. Didn't pay a ton of attention to anything else, but I just saw bombardiers making their way through. So that front machine gun getting shocked, definitely not helping matters, because that boom cannon's not doing a heck of a lot for us. So we're going to move that machine gun out of the way. I am going to give this like 3 more tries. Then we will move on and away from this as we get far better usage out of our flotsam there, but just not good enough. So something is killing that back flotsam far too early as well. So need to get the machine guns here swapped out. So I'm going to swap, even I think it might just be this machine gun for this machine gun could do it. We'll go something like that as well, just to see if we can't get, let's get this boom cannon over here. That should get rid of that Scorcher much faster. I think I said I'm going to do 2 more tries after this. See how we move that shock over to that right-hand side. Far better for us. Now, hopefully that Scorcher on that left-hand side goes down way quicker, which should get a whole bunch more of those riflemen dead. There we go. Starting to get better. 2 sets of critters back there. That's what's going on. So I was wondering what was doing so much damage to that back flotsam. Looks like our flamethrowers have got that under control. And a barrage back there. So all sorts of damage on that back stuff. Could move that around a little bit, but not quite. Look at this. He's just throwing critters and barrages like a crazy person. This boom cannon definitely needs to get moved, because it keeps drawing a whole bunch of those troops away from the mines. 1 Zuka left. Yeah, we're not going to get this with this flotsam. So you know what? I'm done with this. We'll come back to that later. I will get this with or without you, as U2 once famously sang. I think that was U2. Again, words just pop into my head. Song lyrics. So as you can see here, we've got 28. So we're going to move up to 29 spots. Not entirely sure which, if the next level landing craft's actually going to do anything for us. I will have to check the wiki for that. If you know what this is going to bring back for us, do let me know. But for now, I'm going to use these clone rifleman dudes. Actually, you know what? I think I have the wrong rifleman. That would have been embarrassing beyond belief. So we're going to put the other riflemen in. Now, these riflemen, once more, you can't differentiate them between the two. I really do wish Supercell would just give them pink hats or something. Like, it would take literally seconds to make the different riflemen look different, because the only way you can tell is by the fact that we've got a date timer on there. So Supercell doing, I really do think I sent them a long, very technical, very detailed, very well written, in my mind, description of the problem, and I think they fixed it. So I can't wait till tomorrow to see, because I really do want to max these riflemen out. If you don't know what I'm talking about, please hit me up in the comments, but I think we managed to make a change to how Boom Beach is working. So The devs are out there, I believe. So now what we're going to do is just drop all sorts of this. And if you're wondering, are the clone riflemen good? Just watch this. Watch how many troops we end up with. They absolutely, absolutely just overrun everything. Don't have to worry about mines quite so much. We're going to barrage there, and notice how cheap our shocks are. So we've got cheap shocks, we've got all of these crazy, ridiculous riflemen just burning through everything in their way. Do need to be a little bit concerned about grouped mines, but look how many of these things are popping up. Like, it is silly, silly, silly. Now, just a note, if you don't have instant training, you are losing troops. You are going to have to reload your boats. The fact that there are all of these rifle dudes spawned doesn't mean that you just have full boats when the attack ends, unfortunately. Kind of like Kavan can't bring back your troops to fill your landing crafts. When Kavan was first dropped, that was the hope that he could revive them and you wouldn't have to re-buy troops. Just walking through bases. We lost 164, but we had more than that towards the end of the battle. And I believe that Rifleman speed boost is helping. Realistically, warrior damage, a more fun way to clear your map. But do make sure you go get those shock bomb cost reduction tribe maxed, because that is super, super useful, especially for those of you who are HQ18. Get that tribe maxed as fast as you can, because it's going to help you. And we are into the last half of the month, which means these are your crab tribes. Crab tribes seem to be slightly more crabby, but overall, this is going to be a good tribe for the crab. I know rifles not super duper useful. I know warriors not super duper useful, but, and there is a but, though, yes, there is a but. The shock reductions are going to be so good, and you're going to see some ridiculous solos one more time on the operation attacks, simply because cheaper shocks just mean that you can have more damage and do more and more good stuff. So you see those rifles that popped up there? They did not follow the flare. Not the best thing, but also not the worst thing. So we're going to get all of our shocks going. We're just going to walk all of these rifles in, showing that you can use smoke with these guys, but you don't really need to. Just go crush all sorts of HQs. I wouldn't recommend using them with anything else. I mean, you can put some bombardiers behind them, you could put some Zukas behind them, get some damage in behind them. Not really required, though. These guys are pretty brain dead simple to use. They just keep popping more and more and more rifles. And even with medics, if you had medics in behind, all they're going to do is heal your rifles, which you kind of want them to die a little bit. Anyways, that is all for me today. Quick video just to let you know I am back from vacation, back to reality, and say thank you for your patience. I know that during the summers I can be a little bit offline and inconsistent, and that is not what people want out of a YouTube channel, but that is what I need for my sanity. So spent all last week on or in the lake, mountain biking a ton. I think we climbed 4,000 meters over the last week or so, which is like 12,000 feet, I think, or something like that. Anyways, that is all for me. I will be back tomorrow with another Warships video, doing the fight, the late season battle to get into Diamond. Hopefully, task force members that are doing well. Svix, I don't know that name. We've got a couple people that have joined our task force. If you are new to our task force, please reach out to me on Discord or in the task force. Sorry, I had a bit of an issue there with the recording. My dock actually died. So I've got my capture card plugged into my dock, and my dock just died. So all of a sudden the video went dark. Not entirely sure when that happened, but I'm going to do one more stage. Just wanted to give a huge shout out to all the members of our task force. Last week while I was on vacation, we did a task force versus task force versus task force week-long battle where we did 5-member task forces that did dead end every day, and whoever had the most points at the end of the week won. Not entirely sure who won, but I know that my team didn't do as well as we would have liked. On my first attack, the very first attack of our task force, I threw a flare and it threw a smoke, and I was sitting there waiting for my troops to move, and they never moved. And I don't know if that was sunscreen on the fingers or what the reason for that was, but nonetheless, I think we made great. We made a huge comeback, but it just wasn't enough, I don't think. Anyways, all of the members of all of the task forces and the organizers and the people who dropped intel and all of that, thank you so much. That was utterly fantastic, and I really, really enjoyed it. So thank you for those of you who took part. Hopefully doing another one of those soon. And it wasn't, I didn't record any videos or anything. It was just a fun thing that we did. Playing Boom Beach for the sake of playing Boom Beach, not for likes or views or follows or anything like that. Anyways, that is all for me. As always, thank you for coming in. I'm zmot. Peace.